Good day, grade 7. Welcome to our English class. This is Ma'am Joanne Q. Nunag, your teacher for today. Are you ready for our new lesson? Well, it seems that everybody's ready now. So come on, and let's do some learning. Do you hear what I hear? Let's listen attentively. Yes, that is our topic for today. In Module 1 of Quarter 2, we are going to discuss about listening strategies. Moving on, here are my expectations of you after our discussion. In this lesson, you will be able to say that listening is the ability to understand the message that is sent. Listening is as important as reading, writing, and speaking. Thus, different strategies will help you enhance your skill as an effective listener. Specifically, you are expected to develop listening strategies depending on purpose. Appreciate the importance of listening attentively. Take note of important details and retell and summarize what is listened to. To begin this lesson, let us do this activity first. What you know. It says here that you have to list down words associated with the image in the web diagram. Write your answers in the boxes. You have a minute to do it. Okay, time's up. Alright, what are your answers? Yes, I know you have thought of the word hear and also noise. Yes, there's also the word listen. Of course, you have also the word sound. And lastly, yes, we have the word voice. Well done, grade 7. Now, what is listening? Listening is one of the 4 communication skills which is fundamental in learning any language. It is the ability to interpret the message that is sent verbally through conversations, narrative stories, songs, or radio programs. Some say hearing is just the same as listening. To find out, let us define the two. Hearing is the ability to perceive sound by detecting vibrations through ear. On the other hand, listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. In other words, hearing is the collecting of data, while listening is the understanding of the data being collected. Therefore, hearing is not listening and listening is not hearing. Have you ever wondered why listening is difficult, though it is the skill we use the most? It is because there are a lot of things to consider when you listen. Here is a list on how to become a good listener. First, you have to be attentive. Second, you have to keep an open mind. Third, you have to listen to the words. And fourth, you have to try to picture out what the speaker is saying. We listen to understand and evaluate a message, to get information and ideas, to communicate, to distinguish sounds, and to enjoy. Predicting the content and noting important details will help you understand the message you listen to. Since you have learned what listening is and how important it is to become a good listener, let us try to practice listening by doing Activity 1, which is entitled I Need to Know. This activity has 3 parts: the pre-listening, the during listening, and the post-listening. Are you ready? Let's begin. For the pre-listening, you just need to answer the questions given. First, have you ever listened to a radio broadcast? If yes, what was the broadcast about? And how did you understand it? Now that you're done answering questions from pre-listening, let's proceed to during listening. Here, you have to listen carefully to the news report and you need to take note of the important details. DZRB 98.9 News Report. Good afternoon, Philippines. This is Maria de la Cruz from DZRB 98.9 Newsroom, bringing you the latest news update. A victim of a hit and run was seen along Carmelite Street, Tala, Caloocan City. The victim, a 25-year-old Jose Reyes, was brought to Tala Hospital and was confined for broken ribs and legs. According to him, he was crossing the street when a rushing van hit him. Fortunately, some bystanders who saw the incident called for help. Meanwhile, a white van with plate number XY1234 was seen from the CCTV footage recorded by the barangay on that day. If you have any information, the police department is asking you to call 117 or 0287220650. Have you understood the news report? If yes, post-listening will be an easy peasy for you, because here you need to answer the questions based from what you have heard. 1. What was the news report about? 2. Who was the victim? 3. Where was he brought? 4. Why did he meet an accident? And 5. How did they know the suspect's information? To have more practice, let's now move on with activity 2, which is named Press That Button. Just like with activity 1, it has 3 parts too: the pre-listening, the during listening, and the post-listening. Ready? Let's get it on! In pre-listening, you have to complete the table by writing the advantages and the disadvantages of having a telephone. Okay, now that you have listed all the advantages and the disadvantages of having a telephone, let's do the during listening. Here, you have to listen carefully to the automated telephone system. Don't forget to take note of the important details. Mabuhay! Thank you for calling Luzbimin Airlines, the airline that prioritizes passenger most. This call is recorded to ensure quality assistance. To get more information, you may visit www.luzbimin.com. Please listen carefully to the following instructions. If you are calling for information about today's flight, press 1. If you are calling to make a reservation for a domestic flight, press 2. If you're calling to make a reservation for an international flight, press 3. If you're calling to avail our promo package, press 4. If you want to hear a list of rules for checking in at the airport, press 5. If you want to speak with a customer service representative, press 6. If you want to hear the options again, press 7. Thank you for choosing Luzbimin Airlines. I hope you have taken down all the important details because that will be necessary to accomplish the post-listening. Here, you need to match column A with the instructions in column B. Write the letter of your answer on the blank before each number. You did a great job, grade 7. Now, here are some things to remember for you to become more effective listener. Listening is the ability to understand the message that has been received. This act involves the sender and the receiver. It will undergo different stages such as receiving, understanding, remembering, evaluating, and responding. An active listener is a person who listens attentively and analyzes what he or she has listened to in order to give feedback. Predicting content is one of the listening strategies that uses its background to guess what happens next. There is an assumption on what the message is all about. Noting details is another listening strategy that aims to remember important information through writing. To see how better a listener you are, let us do the check your understanding. Here, you have to listen carefully as I read the selection. You also need to take note of important details. But let me read the questions first. 1. Where did the story happen? 2. Why was the house of the Esteban family destroyed? 3. What preparations did they do after the typhoon? And 4. If you were Mr. Esteban, would you do the same? Why? Caught Unprepared by Gemma G. Lampitok. Most of the houses in Pangarap village were destroyed by Typhoon Beryong last June 2019. The Esteban family was one of the most badly hit by Typhoon Beryong. After the typhoon, the family immediately repaired and restored their house. They constructed a more sturdy house in preparation for the coming typhoons. To avoid the same misfortune, they planned and prepared on how to avoid the same fate when typhoon hit their place again. First, Mr. Esteban told his children to be ready all the time by listening to the news on radio and TV. Second, always save food and water. Third, secure important documents and things. Fourth, charge the cell phones and gadgets and electric lamps. Lastly, they strategize ways on how to contact or reach family members and friends in case of calamity. Now, the Esteban family is prepared for any calamities that will come. To see how much you have learned from our topic, let us do the post-test. Here, you need to read the statements and determine whether it is true or false. Write your answers on the space provided. 1. Listening is making meaning of something that is heard. 2. Listening is different from hearing. 3. People listen to evaluate a message. 4. Skimming is one of the strategies in listening. 5. Giving feedback is a sign of being a good listener. 6. Verbal communication is the most neglected among the 4 types of communication skills. 7. Noting important details based on what is listened to help you understand the message. 8. In listening, paying attention is a must. 9. The sound produced by the speaker has no effect on the listener. And 10. Listening is essential in learning any languages. Well done, grade 7. Now, for your last task, I want you to do the reflection. Here you have to study the picture and then answer the questions that follow. 1. What does the picture imply? 2. What will happen if people talk at the same time? 3. How will you react if you are in this situation? Now you have finished all the tasks. Congratulations!
Before I end up today's session, I want to leave you with a beautiful quote from Wayne Dyer that says, "Be a good listener. It makes the person who's speaking to you feel loved, cared for, and worthy of being heard." That's it. I hope you learned something new today. Have a nice day, everyone. See you next meeting.